So hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is TeamOverclocked bringing you guys a GTX 1050 and 1050 Ti performance analysis, and today we're going to be figuring out how powerful these guys are going to be when they're released. So the 1050 is going to be retailing at $109, and it's going to be featuring 640 CUDA cores, 2GB of GDDR5 VRAM, a clock speed of 1.5 GHz, along with a TDP of 75 watts. For $30 more, you can get that GTX 1050 Ti, and with it, you get 768 CUDA cores, 4GB of GDDR5 VRAM, a clock speed of 1.4 GHz, and a TDP of 75 watts as well. Now, the 75 watt TDP is most likely put in there to make these prime competitors for the RX 460, and it allows the people who are buying this card to stick it into a pre-built without any external power if that's something they want to do. Now before we start, I would like to mention that all the benchmark numbers in this video are going to be with a i5 6600K at stock speeds and 8GB of DDR4 VRAM. Although this might be a little high end for these graphics cards, it will definitely give us a good idea of what the chips can do at relatively high loads. Now the first thing I did was get estimates to figure out if there were any patterns in terms of time spy scores among all the Pascal GPUs. The points per CUDA, as I suspected, steadily increased as you went down the Pascal ladder of GPUs. The 1080 had 2.9 points per CUDA, the 1070 had 3.4, and lastly the 1060 had 3.7. As you can see, this is a pretty steady increase, and I wanted to see if this was a relevant pattern, so I analyzed the points per CUDA for the Maxwell GPUs and saw a similar trend. So this led me to believe that the same would most likely be true for the GTX 1050 and 1050 Ti. After estimating a range for the points per CUDA, I ended up with 3.95 points per CUDA for the 1050 and 1050 Ti. After some simple math, I reached an estimate of 3,033 points for the 1050 Ti and 2,568 points for the regular 1050. This puts the performance of the GTX 1050 to about the same level as the GTX 960, and this makes it a better competitor for the RX 460, especially considering it's only $10 more and you are getting a decent chunk more performance. Now, the GTX 1050 Ti is just under the 380X in terms of performance, which makes it a pretty good GPU for the price. So, to conclude, the GTX 1050 is a great competitor for the RX 460. The 1050 is about 20% faster for only about a 10% increase in price. Along with the 75 watt TDP, it was pretty obviously done by NVidia to get the RX 460 crowd on their side. The 1050 Ti is really just in a segment of its own, and it satisfies the gamer who wants to spend more than $125 on a GPU, but less than $175. Both are great cards, and they're timed wisely to satisfy the people who might need a new GPU for Battlefield 1, and these will all around make the GPU market a better market and more competitive. So yeah guys, that's all for today. If you liked the video, please overclock the like button. If you didn't like it, please dislike it, subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.